Hello again guys, and welcome back to an old school sales update video. So I'm going to show you a range of items that have sold, everything from clothes to hard goods, on the 4 platforms that I sell on, which is eBay, Poshmark, Etsy and Mercari. And I'm also going to let you know which items sold due to me cross-posting them and getting more eyes on those items, specifically using the Vendoo software. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I've been doing some sponsored content with Vendoo, and I use them myself in my day-to-day listing process, and I personally swear by them. That's 100% my opinion. I really like what it has done for my business. So I'm going to show you, like I said, a range of items, but I will highlight for you which items have sold due to Vendoo. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to let you know exactly what that breaks down to in numbers, as in what I paid for Vendoo and what I made due to cross-posting those items. If you're wondering what Vendoo is, it is a cross-listing software. So basically, you can see here on my screen, you can either create a listing from scratch, or you can import a listing that you've already created from a marketplace and then basically push that listing out to multiple marketplaces and get more eyes on your item. It is so easy to use. Like I said, I've been using it for like 5 weeks at this point. It's completely integrated into my day-to-day process. I love it, and because of it, I've run out of excuses for not cross-listing, and my sales have gone up because of it. So I cannot complain. What I will do is link my video to my full review of Vendoo so that you can check that out and see if it's something that you're interested in. And if you are interested in giving it a go, I'm going to put an affiliate link down below that will give you 25% off your first month in case you do want to test it out and see if it can do anything miraculous for your business as well. Kind of like it did for me. I'm finally cross-posting to all my platforms rather than avoiding it and wishing that I had. So there's always that. Okay, so let's crack on with some items. Like you can see here, I had 44 sales so far with Vendoo. You can see there is a great range of items, all kinds of different stuff, selling on multiple different marketplaces, as you can see. So like I said, I'll highlight some of those, but I'm going to start today with Etsy, and this is going to be stuff from December the 22nd through to January the 23rd, so just stuff over the last month, but this is not everything that has sold for me over the last month. It's just a selection, if you like. So Etsy. This item I picked up for $1.25 at a thrift store. It is a vintage small soldiers game from 1998, and it sold for $34.95 plus the shipping on Etsy. And this is something that was cross-posted using Vendoo, so I do attribute that sale to doing it basically and to getting more eyes on my item. Okay, next one on Etsy is an expandable wooden accordion wall hook. I swear by these. I have been selling them for like 5 years at this point. And this one sold for $24.95 on Etsy. Again, cross-posted using Vendoo. And I paid about $1 for this at a yard sale. Next is a vintage Garfield Born to Party plush. Again, cross-posted using Vendoo. Most of my Etsy items are going to be cross-posted in general, and mostly at this point using Vendoo. That's why I'm saying it as much as I am, is it's really just my central hub for getting those listings out to different places. So if I'm repetitive, I'm sorry, but I'm just letting you know, like I said, which items I've managed to kind of like push out to all those different platforms so that you know exactly what I've been doing with it. So I paid $1.80 for this at a yard sale, and it sold for $24.95. And if I didn't mention it before, all of my items basically have shipping that the buyer pays, unless I very rarely do free shipping, and if that's the case, I'll make sure to let you know. Vintage New York City skyline t-shirt. I cropped this myself because it had some staining at the bottom, and I rolled, and I think I tacked the sleeves. It's been listed for a little while. I would have paid about 50 cents for this, I think, and it sold for $24.95. This was not a Vendoo item that has been listed for quite a while. This one was Vendoo. Vintage baby bop from Barney. I paid, I think, 25 cents for this guy at a rummage sale, and it sold for $14.95 on Etsy, again plus the shipping, and it sold in about a month, which is pretty good for a baby bop. USA vintage Wall Street necktie. I had fun finding all the keywords for this one, let me tell you. Paid 50 cents at a yard sale, sold for $24.95. This was a fun one as well. Again, Vendoo cross-post, so this was on all my platforms, including Mercari, I think, so all of them. I kind of thought it might sell on Poshmark or eBay, but someone scooped it up on Etsy. I paid less than $1 for this because it was at a filler bag rummage sale that I recently recorded and put up on my channel. If you like thrift with me's and you like to go to yard sales and garage sales and stuff, then check out some of those videos as well, because I take you along for the ride. And anyway, somebody bought this for $74.95 plus shipping, and I was not sure if it was real fur, hence the real fur, faux fur in the title, and all the way through the description, I just couldn't tell. So I priced it high, I thought, and just hoped that someone would scoop it up, and they did within about a month of being listed. Okay, and the last one on Etsy is this bird embroidered wall decor. Picked it up at a thrift store for like $3 a piece, I think, and it sold for $39.95. All right, on to Poshmark. So, Chaco sandals. These were a huge fail for me at a yard sale, hence the giant word flawed down here. I picked them up for $5, which I would normally pay for Chacos, I don't mind, but as you can see in the photographs and the close-up photographs and the description, they were cracking on the bottom. Nevertheless, someone bought them for $15, so I made my money back and just a little bit on top. So, you know, I'll take it rather than just having to donate them. This was an item that came from the yard sale leftover buyout that I did. If you haven't caught those videos, I always mention this now. I will link them down below. I had the best yard sale I've ever been to, and then I went back, sent her a Christmas card, asked her if she had any leftovers, could I buy them all? She said yes, and I went and picked them up from a stranger's house. So if you're interested in either of those videos, they'll be linked down below. But this was one of those items. So I averaged it out at like maybe $1 a piece. I'm thinking it's more like 50 cents to 25 cents a piece, but I'm going to be super conservative and say $1. This sold for $12 plus shipping. I did not do any what do you call it? Like, I didn't pay any shipping basically for the towards the buyer shipping, because they sent me an offer, so I didn't have to kind of subsidize that, if you know what I mean. But still $12. This had no brand to it whatsoever. It sold purely on its style. Next is this thing. Surprised me completely. This was in a very recent Thrift with Me thrift store video that I did. I picked it up for $1.99 because I thought it was adorable, and it sold the same day for $45. So definitely keen on that. Apparently, looking at comps and stuff, vintage Winnie the Pooh like bags and stuff, even diaper bags, can do quite well. So maybe sort of a sneaky bolo there. Next is DL 1961 jeans. They sat for ages, like maybe 2 years at this point. They did sell for $35, which works for me, and I paid about $4.99 at a thrift store, but definitely not a quick flip in my experience. This came from that best yard sale I've ever been to, but this was the first go around, so I bought this for $2. And yeah, it's just a message bag really. Couldn't find much about it. I had it listed a bit high. Someone sent me an offer for $30. I absolutely took it. Next is a pair of vintage Tennessee platform sneakers. I had $1.87 into these from a yard sale, and they sold for $25, as you can see here. Just thought they were kind of cool with that vintage styling. This was in the yard sale buyout as well. I almost did not list this because it had a mark on the front, as you can see there. But it turns out it was quite popular at Hot Topic, and you can't really buy it anymore. So I decided to list it anyway. I think it was $25. Someone sent me a best offer of $20, and I accepted it, even though it had a little bit of a flaw. All right, Big Star Maddie jeans. I think I had about $2 to $2.50 into this. I got this from, I think, the upscale yard sale that I went to. She had loads of clothing she was selling. I've never sold them before, but I've heard of them, so I decided to try them out, and they sold for $35 plus shipping here. Next, I want to share this with you because it's just such a good example of a novelty print. Talbots, I don't pick up all Talbots, but I thought this was really cute, and I wanted to put the word Valentine's in the title to see if it worked, and it sold in 2 hours for $18. So novelty prints can really do well if they are sort of a bit more unusual, or if it's well timed, I think, with the season. This was from the yard sale buyout as well, so maybe $1 we could estimate into it. And it turns out it was a Riverdale Jughead hat, but like from the show Riverdale, and I think again it was Spencer's, and they don't make it anymore, etc., etc. So it sold for $20. Not bad at all for a beanie hat. Miracle Suit embroidered boho top. I picked this up because Miracle Suit is kind of like slimming wear, if you like, and it's sold for 20 on a best offer. And the last item is just a J Jill. Very, very bread and butter, but I thought it was really cute with the polka dot. It took a while to sell, but it did sell for 20. All right, and on to eBay. So this was from the yard sale buyout as well. As you can see, I am working through that stuff right now. I'm sort of mixing in listing like plush and hard goods and clothing just to have a bit of like a cross section of it. So I'm not listing only clothing or only plush, mostly for my sanity, if nothing else. This item sold for $14.99 plus the shipping. And again, I'd estimate $1 into it. We have these slingback clogs and mules, clogs or mules, I suppose, have 25 cents in them, sold for 20 on a best offer. This sold for $21.24. This was a Christmas present I got a few years back, and it just wasn't my thing. But Ted Baker is a good brand, so I decided to just sell it on, which I think is perfectly legitimate. And I don't mind at all if someone does that with my Christmas presents, just so you know. All right, from the yard sale buyout, again, this was definitely cross-posted using Vendoo. Even though it's sold on eBay, I'm going to mention that to you because it was the type of item that I would be looking to get as many eyes on as possible, like with Mercari and things like that. So, brand new Build-A-Bear Captain Marvel Goose Cat. It was retired, new with tags, and it sold for 30 on a best offer. Old Navy, do not pick up all of Old Navy. That's not really on my radar, but I do like a good novelty print like I just told you with Talbot's, and this had the Daisy print. These sold the same day for full asking price of $16.99. Patagonia hoodie. Funny story, I bought this off of Poshmark for like $5 for me, and I wore it for a bunch of time. And now I sold it on eBay for 25. So I bought it for 5, I wore it for a while, and I sold it for 25 plus shipping, which to me is a great flip and a great way to kind of rotate your wardrobe when you want to. But Patagonia is a really good brand to pick up, just depending on the piece. Okay, this was a fail. A huge lot of family VHSs. So to be fair, I picked up the whole lot for $3, I think it was. And I sold 3 tapes that were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like movie 1, 2, and 3, for $9.99 plus shipping, and then these sold for $15 plus shipping. So I definitely made some good profit, but I don't know that it was worth the amount of effort that it took to actually have to package these up and send them on their way. So I'm avoiding VHS from now on. It was a failed experiment, but I'm glad I learned something. So this was another Vendoo cross post, but again, of course, it's sold on eBay. Vintage Alabama, what do you call it, like a denim vest, sold for $20, and I bought it for $1. Williams Sonoma, this had a lot of attention on all the different platforms. I think I listed it on Mercari, Poshmark, and eBay. Just so happened to sell on eBay. I paid like $2 at a thrift store for it. It was a tablecloth, and it sold for $25 plus the shipping in a couple of weeks. Another item from the yard sale buyout. So, and if you're wondering, by the way, I've made up all of my $300 that I spent buying out her leftovers. I'm well over that now net, not gross, net. So I'm in pure profit at this point with every single item that I list from that buyout. So I feel like I can call it a success at this point. Plus, it's really interesting listing all of these different items. I'm just saying, I'm learning a lot from it. So Her Universe, Doctor Who, Dalek, sort of dress, tunic, whatever you want to call it, sold for $12 on a best offer. That one just wasn't super popular. This was from it as well, so again, I'll call it $1 into it. It was from the Disney store, Wreck-It Ralph. Candlehead is the actual name of this character. Go figure. But it sold for $19.99, as you see here, plus the shipping. Reebok, this was a good one. So these are obviously high tops, they're vintage, like 80s 90s style, and they sold for the $47.99 that you see, and went overseas using the global shipping program. This I grabbed at a yard sale because I literally could not find anything to sell at that yard sale, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed, so they had a dollar table and this was on it. It was new and sealed, so I grabbed it. It sold for $15, which is, you know, absolutely fine. It was easy to list, it was easy to ship, easy to store, but still, you know. Sometimes you just have to walk away empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this was another one from the yard sale buyout. This was a good sale. Again, cross-posted, ended up selling on eBay, but again, had loads of love on like Mercari and stuff. I really thought it was going to sell there. This one sold for $34 on a best offer within a day. And again, I'm going to call it $1 that I paid just because it was from that buyout. Who knew? Who knew that these things sold so well? It took a little bit of research to figure out exactly what it was, but it was really rare, so go figure. $34 there for a little fleece hat. Soft surroundings, I had 25 cents into this, sold the same day on a best offer of 22. I really put this in here to show you guys that soft surroundings does move really quickly if it's the right piece, and these very, very loud pieces with some kind of like design feature to it can do quite well. All right, vintage. This went to a viewer. If you're watching, thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you were able to scoop this up. So I listed this for them. This is a vintage decoupage, so like a basket, but it had a mirror inside, so it could totally be used for like, I don't know, craft supplies or makeup or whatever you wanted. I picked this up at a rummage sale, so had probably under $1 in this, and they did buy it for the full price of $29.99 plus shipping. And I'm so glad they reached out and they were able to snag it. This item sold for this price you see here, $67.99. Unfortunately, it wasn't charging quite right. I suspect it was the charger, but I had to disclose that. Yeah, and I think I spent $15 on this particular Samsung camcorder at a yard sale. This one was a little bit of a fail, a Sony like sort of OG, if you like, travel console bag. I spent $2 at the thrift store and it sold for $15 plus shipping. I'd hoped it would have done better than that, but there was quite a few on the market right now, so that kind of devalued it a little bit. This is also an example of when you think that it's not worth listing anything. I had all of these left over where I had lotted stuff up, and these were just random ones. So I thought I'm just going to throw them into a lot and see if anybody wants them. And they sold in a day for $15.55. So I have 0 as my cost of goods because these were just like floating through my inventory unlisted. So it turns out you can do a mix lot for cassettes. Who knew? Oh, this is one of my favorite sales as well. I procrastinated on listing this. I don't know why. I think it like overwhelmed me. I don't know why. Anyway, this brand Form Fit, when it's vintage, can actually do quite well. I paid $1 for this at a rummage sale way back at the beginning of the season, like sort of April time, and it sold in like half an hour for a best offer of $55, I think it was. This one again was cross-posted because I definitely would have put this on Etsy, but it just got scooped up too quickly on eBay. Not bad at all though. Vintage lingerie is something I'm going to have to pay attention to, I think. I told you I'd give you a sort of cross range or whatever of different sales. So here you go. This sold for $8.50 plus shipping. But in my defense, I picked them up for 10 cents for the pair. So definitely lots and lots of profit there. And again, was really easy to photograph and list and ship and store and all that kind of stuff. Nice, easy sale. This was a random one. So this is from the the yard sale buyout again. This had no branding on it, just a green felt pointed hat, but it was in with a bunch of Moomin stuff. And it definitely has Moomin like Finland vibe. So I was like, I'm going to use all of the keywords. Why not? And it sold for the full asking price of $39.99, just a felt hat. So definitely kind of cool. I'll be keeping my eyes and my mind open. That's for sure, moving forward into the next season. Okay, and the last item is just Trina Turk. Paid $4 for this at a yard sale, and it sold for a best offer of $50. Okay, let me give you the breakdown of like the Vendoo side of this. I'm going to let you know, so I've been a member since November 16th through to January the 23rd. So by my calculations, that is a month and 7 days. So I pay $31.98 to Vendoo. Well, I should say that right now that is sponsored, but when I go there, when I start to pay for it myself, I think is what I'm trying to say. My cost for my plan, which is the simple plan, will be $31.98, and I do plan on keeping going with this, and you'll see why in a second. And that's because I do the simple plan, and I also do the bundle add-ons, which let me like relist and delist items. And it also lets me, what else does it let me do? I know it lets me like take all my listings down from every platform when something sells. Oh, and it lets me import my items as well. With the month plus the 7 days, I worked that out to be $39.47 sort of into Vendoo, if you like, for the amount of time that I've been on there. Now, my gross sales for the 44 items that I showed you right at the beginning of this video is $1,258.45. For 44 items. And all of those, like I said, are here listed. You can see them. Now, occasionally something you can see here like sells on eBay, but because it's here and it's part of my Vendoo system, I am going to count it because it's something that I chose to cross-post, and it's something that I would absolutely move forward cross-posting. But you can see lots of Mercari, lots of Etsy, lots of Poshmark, lots of different things basically. So I'm counting anything that I took the time to put into my Vendoo inventory as a Vendoo item. Just trying to be transparent. So all of these 44 items, $1,258.45. So that is gross, but I decided to go ahead and subtract just a sort of blanket 20% for fees, so that you could get a closer idea of net before cost of goods what I would have made, and that would be $1,006.76. So the question really here is, would I spend $39.47 to make cross-listing easier and to potentially make an extra $1,000 plus just because I've got my items in front of way more people because I've used multiple marketplaces? Absolutely. That is the reason why I'm going to be sticking with Vendoo for the long term right now. Also, I'm noticing that new features are popping up all the time on there. I love this little help button that you can see down here. They're always right there, ready to help, like within working hours or whatever. Have found them to be so useful and so responsive. And overall, I'm just really happy with the product. And if it's getting me $1,000 in sale or so, you know, potentially by getting my items in front of so many more people and taking away my excuses for not cross-posting my items, and it's slipped into my daily process so easily, I honestly think it's a no-brainer, but that's just me. So again, if you're interested, I'll drop that review video down below and the 25% off affiliate link so you can check it out and make your own decision. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments. I'm more than happy to let you know what I know, or more importantly, what my personal experience has been. All right, you guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can come back and hang out some more. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, you guys.